Hey everyone, welcome back with another video, and this is going to be another movie review of a 3-year-old movie, okay? And this is kind of an interesting one because I watched it in theaters back when it came out in 2011, and I actually reviewed it. However, if you've been following my channel since then, you know that in late 2012 and early 2013, I actually rebooted all of my reviews on my channel because I just wasn't happy with any of them. And so, thus, this review was removed as well. I finally got around to buying it, so I was finally able to find it so I could buy it, so I could watch it again, though. Because I really wanted to review it again, but I really wanted to watch it again first so I could remember stuff I may have forgotten, because it's been 3 fucking years, okay? I'm, of course, talking about In Time. Now, this is a very interesting movie, but let me get the specifics out of the way first. It was directed by Andrew Niccol and produced by Andrew Niccol, Mark Abraham, Amy Israel, Crystal Lieblein, and Eric Newman, and written by Andrew Niccol, and starring Amanda Seyfried, Justin Timberlake, Alex Pettyfer. In the box office, it earned $173,930,596, which is really fucking good, of course. And yeah. So what's this movie about? Well, it's kind of hard to tell what time it takes place in, if it's like a more futuristic version of our time, or if it's actually far in the future, or if it's in a more futuristic version of our past. But for hundreds of years now, this system has been in place and wired into people's DNA, where at the age of 25, everyone stops aging. However, then a green time clock on their arm starts counting down from a year. In that year, when that year's up, they will die. Unless they're able to get more time on there. And they can do this by earning it or stealing it. Okay? And that's basically the gist of it. Very few people live past 26 because of this. However, there are very clever and very wealthy people that are basically able to live forever if they acquire enough time, because they'll eternally, in terms of not only looks, but also physical condition and biological conditions, stay 25 forever. Okay? But if that time clock hits 0, they die instantly. Which, I loved this movie when I first saw it, and I loved it when I saw it again, because it's a very original concept. Okay? It really is, and I was very impressed with it. Because the main character, I don't remember what his name is, William Salas, who's actually played by Justin Timberlake, which I was really surprised by. He actually did a fantastic job in this role. Will Salas, when the movie starts, has basically been 25 for 3 years. So apparently he's never went a day in his life after his time clock started where he had more than a day on it. So he's literally always went down to the last second and then got another day. Okay, so he's really literally living paycheck to paycheck. The most literal term of it. He's living paycheck to paycheck here, because if he doesn't, then he'll fucking die. And his mother actually ends up dying in this movie, which really affects his character a lot. Who apparently is 50. And turns 50 in this movie, which is extraordinarily rare. Although there are some people who have lived for hundreds of years because they're able to either earn their time or steal their time. Okay, and there's villains in this movie that are literally willing to kill hundreds of people with no regret or remorse whatsoever, just so that they can basically be immortal, so that they can live forever. Okay. And I really love, because in this world, you spend time to do anything, whether you want to eat or drink, or go to the movies, or go to a restaurant, or if you want to leave or exit any town, or if you want to buy a car or buy or rent a house, you, the time on your time clock is used as currency for all of that. Of course, that would mean it would cut your life short. And if you have to go to a place like, say, New Greenwich, that you have to spend a year on your time clock. So yeah, it gets pretty fucking expensive and it's pretty fucking dangerous. However, he even ends up meeting basically a rich girl who has, I don't remember how much. She has a lot on her fucking time clock though. Called Sylvia Weiss, played by Amanda Seyfried. And the two of them in the movie basically end up going on the run together in order to stop these criminals who are basically killing people in order to become immortal. And at the end of the movie, they're basically together as wanted fugitives, okay? So the positives in this movie. The plot is very original, and our two main characters are extremely likable and well developed as well, okay? Because, you can tell that they're definitely going through some turmoil here. Because they're about to fucking die and they need to keep acquiring time, but it keeps going away so fast. Okay, and even Sylvia Weiss, who's a rich girl, she has so much on her fucking time clock. Towards the end of the movie, even she's struggling with it because of how much that was stolen from her. And yes, stealing time is technically considered to be a crime. Okay. However, giving away time is even an even worse crime, actually. Which is punishable by death, usually. Because if you're giving away a lot of time, then people know that you have a lot of time, and they'll be targeting not only you, but possibly other people as well. And it gets very complicated, but it's all very interesting, and I loved watching this movie for the second time. I think it only got better the second time, and that's very unusual for happening with me, especially with movies. Okay? So, yeah. And the acting was also all very well done. I don't really need to talk about any other characters because there's really none that really sparked my interest too much. I mean, they were cool, but nothing that really stood out except for the lead villain, who I forget. He's basically a time collector or a timekeeper. He's played by Cillian Murphy as timekeeper Raymond Ray Leon, who he's really fucking old, and he actually knew Will's father, who was similar to Will. He would basically give time away, and he was targeted for that, basically, because that was like the worst crime. That's like the worst crime of all, apparently. And what timekeepers do is that they basically collect time for themselves. That's essentially what they do. He's really the only villain that I think is worth mentioning. He was excellent, and Murphy did an excellent job portraying this character as not really evil, I don't think, but just very cunning and very dangerous. Okay. And of course he ends up dying towards the end of the movie. The only major complaint that I had with this movie was the ending. Now, I'm the type of person that usually thinks that endings destroy the entire experience, and this is one of those where, again, it doesn't for me. I love the movie regardless, but that ending was kind of bad. And it wouldn't be as bad if there was like some sort of a sequel, but it's 2014 and right now there's no sequel. And I've looked it up too. I can't find any information on a fucking sequel, which kind of sucks. I mean, I think that there's so much more story that they could tell in the series if they would make a sequel. But considering it's 3 years later now, like literally 3 years later, I'm pretty sure, when October 28th, 2011. This is August 16th, 2014. So yeah, almost like 2 or 3 more months will be exactly 3 years. I don't think there's going to be a sequel at this point, which kind of sucks because I think there's so much more story they could tell, and because there's no sequel, that ending really like disappoints me on so many levels. Okay, but other than that though, I loved this movie. Like, I really did. I think it had great writing, great, effects with the effects that were necessary for this movie, which weren't a lot, but the ones that were there I thought were great. Great casting choices, great acting, lighting and cinematography. I think it's all done very well here. The action scenes are all done very well choreographed, which usually either revolve around hand-to-hand combat scenes or some driving action scenes as well there are in this movie, which are all done very well. And it has a very original plot. The characters themselves aren't too original, but the plot is very original, and I really like that. So I definitely recommend this movie. Okay, if you want to see something that's kind of original, then although I do think this is based on a book, but the book came out so fucking long ago. From what I understand, the plot actually deviates the plot of the movie actually deviates a lot from the book. At least that's what I've heard. So yeah, I definitely recommend this movie to anyone who likes this type of stuff, because I really loved it. Although I do have to warn you, the ending is very disappointing. At least to me it is. So anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.